Hey, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. We get a we go and we check an update here. This was published 50 minutes ago after we came on the show. U.S. trade deficit rises to a 9.5-year high. The Commerce Department said the trade gap rose 1.6% to $57.6 billion. Okay, that was the highest level since October 2008. Part of the rise in trade deficit in February reflected commodity price increases. Okay, 9.5-year high. Okay, and you're saying we don't have to, some of the left, that we don't have to do something about this and do something about it now. Let me see. I'm going to go to the Twitter deck and go to the Twitter deck here before we go any further. And just 12 minutes ago, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, released another tweet. The fake news Washington Post. I'm sorry. I know I get messages from people and viewers that say, do you really like when he says stuff like that? I have to tell you, I've waited my whole life for a president of the United States just to put it out there. Say it, okay? The fake news Washington Post, Amazon's chief lobbyist, has another of many phony headlines. Trump defiant as China adds trade penalties. Wrong. Should read, Trump defiant as U.S. adds trade penalties. Will end barriers and massive IP theft. Okay? Intellectual property theft. Typically bad reporting. So, you know, the fake news Washington Post, which is owned by Jeff Bezos, Amazon's chief lobbyist, he's the CEO of Amazon, has another of many phony headlines. Trump defiant as China adds trade penalties. Wrong. And he is correct in that, folks, because they are wrong. China is adding and threatening to add penalties based on they're threatening to add penalties based on what President Donald Trump said he is going to do. And I told you yesterday, intellectual properties, you keep hearing that. And you keep hearing trade deficit. And I just want to be clear on something. The Chinese, if you read, okay, espionage, spies, okay, we have heard Russia, Russia, Russia daily. Putin kills journalists. Putin poisons people. Putin wrestles, you know, a lion. Whatever, daily. But not one word on China. And not one word on how they manipulate their currency. Not one word on the trade deficit. And not one word is they are the leader in espionage in this country. They are sending people to study in our universities and get major research grants. They are sending people to work within our corporations. I mean, they are flooding this country. And I think this all goes back to, remember Bill Clinton told the Chinese, come right in, we'll give you anything. Just look around. If you see anything you want, you can have it. Well, President Trump doesn't see it that way. He sees our universities, our corporations, our high-tech industry infiltrated by the Chinese government sending people to extract the intellectual properties out of these corporations, out of these universities. You see, here's what happens, folks. and I explain this, and then everybody yells I'm wrong and whatever, or you get mad the way I explain it. But you have these major universities that we created, that we took your tax money and we supplement, and we get these departments, these different departments, and then we fund these departments through grants and different grants and so forth go into these departments. And corporations, big corporations, give certain research development areas of these major campuses, these colleges, money for research. And then the research department then in turn gives that intellectual data to these corporations. All right? It's all a big circle. The Chinese know that. They have infiltrated your schools, your science departments, your technology departments. They've infiltrated everything in this country. And you and I are paying to have them extract the intellectual properties that belong to us, belong to corporations, belong to our universities, our schools, nationwide, and send home. And Trump knows that, and he's telling you the truth. See, President Donald Trump is taking all the chances. All you'll hear on the news today is, okay, they will not report on the front page of any newscast and open up when what Donald Trump says about Syria increases revenue from other countries that don't want us to leave. All you heard is Trump went on Twitter and he confused our men and women in the military. He confused them and he said, we're leaving. Now, what the left wants you to believe is Donald Trump went and tweeted that out, okay? Tweeted that out yesterday or day before that he wants us out of Syria, and that our men and women in uniform and our leadership over there said, well, did you see the tweet? Pack your bag. What are you guys and girls doing in here? Well, we're packing up. President tweeted we have to go home. It didn't happen like that. They want you to believe there's so much confusion over it. It did not happen like that. They will not report when Saudi Arabia and others in the area that do not want us to leave come up with some money. Pony up, as they say. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to take a brief break. We're going to come back, get off the Twitter deck. I don't know if Amanda has anything. If she does, we're going to check in with Amanda when we come back, and we got some things we want to wrap up the show with. So take us a break, Amanda.